Okay, hi. So today I am doing a tag. This was made by Greg at Another Bibliophile Reads, and it's the hot or not tag. So it's an A through Z hot or not on books, and it sounds fun, and he tagged me, so I'm gonna dive into it. I am drinking my beer. Felt fitting for the tag. So he kind of said in the tag, be very quick with your answers. And I am, but I am going to explain my philosophy on hot or not because it's very similar to a smash or pass. But to me, a smash or pass, it's a smash. You have to go a little bit in. You have to be a little more into it, where it's a hot or not. It's you can think something's hot, but you're not always dipping your toes into it, It could be intriguing, it can be mysterious, and that can be what entices you. So that is the mindset that I'm going into this very serious topic with. So we're just gonna get into it. A for audiobooks, absolutely hot. About 70, I think, % of my reading is audiobooks. I listen to them all the time. I love them. Okay, we're already into one where I've never even used this word before. For B,
Bildungsroman.
That is dealing with people's formative years, generally known as a coming of age. I'm gonna knot this. They can be done well. I've read ones I've liked, but I am never going to seek out a coming of age narrative. C, children's books. These are gonna be a knot for me. They serve a purpose. I'm happy they exist. They get kids into reading, which I love, but I am not a child and I do not have children, and so there's nothing about them that I am attracted to. D, digital. So digital formatting, hot. I love my Kindle. I use it regularly. I have a whole thing of physical books. I barely ever read these. Even if I own the book, I generally go audio or I go ebook. So hot, yes. E, experimental. Okay, hot. I like an experimental book. I like when an author kind of dips their toes into something that other authors haven't really done as much of. But that couldn't be everything, experimental is you can dip your toes in every once in a while, but it's too edgy to be an every time sort of deal. F, fantasy, hot. I am sitting in front of my fantasy bookshelf. I have gotten into fantasy a ton over the past few years. I've read basically, I think I was looking at my stats, I'm fairly certain that 70% of my reading this year has been fantasy. I love diving into a world that could not exist. It's hot. G, graphic novel. I am going to go not. I have read ones that I've liked, but I generally never am drawn to the concept of interpretation of something visually. I'm not a big movie watcher. I'm not really into TV. I like consuming narratives via the written or spoken word, so it's a not. H, horror. All right, this is hot, but it's kind of that hot where you're you see someone across the room and maybe it's a little dark in there, and then you're and then they smile at you because they see you looking and they have fangs, and you're huh, but I'm still intrigued. That's kind of I'm going way too deep with this, but not deep at all. But yes, it's a hot. I, inspirational, that is an absolute no for me. I don't like anything inspirational quotes, inspirational videos, inspirational music, inspirational books. I find my own inspiration in the things around me. I don't need someone to tell me how to be inspired, so it is a no. J, journalism. That is a hot. I really love a book that takes a journalistic approach to something. I find that they can be, with the investigational journalism side of things, it can be really well told. They're always very well researched. My favorite one I've ever read is Bad Blood by John Carreyrou. Highly recommend to literally anyone. It's a hot. K, Kitsch has a popular or sentimental appeal. I'm gonna go not. I'm kind of interpreting this as like New York Times bestsellers. And like, I like to be not like other girls and be like, I don't like things that are on the New York bestseller list. So, so stupid. But I'm gonna go not. L, library. That is an absolute yes. I love the library. The library is hot. She is Polly. She's here for everyone. She's here for everyone's specific needs. She is ready for you to seek her out, and anyone who knots a library that's just a free public resource. Who doesn't want that? Like, it's one of those things that your taxpayer dollars go to, and I'm like, yes, that's where I want my money, in a library. M for mystery, that is going to be a not. Again, with all of them. Are there ones that I've read that I've liked? Yes. But something that is at its core a mystery novel, I never intentionally pick up. I like things that have a mysterious element to them, but I don't like a mystery necessarily to be the sole focus, and I never pick a book up specifically because it's a mystery. N, nonfiction. Okay, this is a hot again, but it's like that hot that I'm like intimidated by, you know? It's like, you're like, oh, I could get to know nonfiction a little bit better, and then like, I try and I'm like, yeah, like I like you, like I get you, I like your vibe, I like your deal. But then like we take some time apart and then suddenly I'm back to being intimidated, you know? O, omnibus, like a collection, an anthology, a short story collection. It could be the same author, it could be multiple authors. These are a hot for me. I really love short stories. I love the short format. I think it's really interesting what you can do with it. I like them when they're an anthology for like many authors involved. I also like them when it's one author and it's a collection of their works. I really like when they're thematic in some capacity instead of being like the best of type thing. I like a theme. P, poetry, that is a not for me. Yeah, it's just, you know, you look across the room and you see poetry over there and they're in their corner, like they're strumming their guitar or whatever, and they're like, you know, they got a following, and that following is cool, but I look over and I'm like, that will never be my vibe. So it's a no. Q, quest. The protagonist goes on a quest that might be physical or spiritual. That is a hot for me. That goes kind of hand in hand with a lot of fantasy. I love when a story takes you physically through space as like the motivator for moving the plot along. I think it can be done really poorly, but when it's done well, it's like chef's kiss. I love it. R, romance, it's a hot. I mean, the steamier the better, you know? S, science fiction, that is a hot. I love science fiction for its ability to take things that are impacting humans in the here and now and talk about those themes in a capacity where you're in the future or you're in space or something like that. It's a yes for me. And if you are looking for a short story collection, Invisible Planets, is that it? Translated by Ken Liu from a variety, an omnibus, if you will, of authors, translated from the Chinese. I read it a few years ago, really loved it. T, translation. Again, it's a hot. I really love the concept of translation. I love learning about the different theories behind translation. I myself am only an English speaker, although I am trying to learn Spanish at the moment. So being able to consume more literature via the mechanism of translation is really wonderful and beautiful for me. You get to experience cultures that are hard to experience otherwise. There's a few small presses that really focus in translated literatures, which I really love. There's one by, the translator for The Vegetarian, Deborah something. She owns a press. There's Deep Vellum. They have a great press. And then there's Charco Press, maybe. All of them just doing great work. It's a hot. Übermensch. The Superman or the extraordinary human, characters who can everything. It is a not for me. This is something that comes up in fantasy quite a bit. I find that as a flaw in writing, as opposed to a flaw in the genre. There is a way to write characters who are nuanced and have flaws. I kind of think about it in the same way that I do Dungeons and Dragons, where, you always want to be able to do what you want. You always, have a plan and you want to roll a 20. And sometimes you roll a natural 1 and things are not going to go according to plan. And I think a lot of fantasy authors or a lot of authors can take note from that concept of letting your characters fail. So it's a no. Victorian, literature from 1937 to 1901. Okay, listen. It's like a cute, okay? I want to want it, It's like the person that you see and you're like, you're such a good guy, you're such a good gal, you're such a good human. Everyone around you seems to love you, but there's something that there's a bridge that I need to get over to experience what everyone else is experiencing, to see through those rose-tinted glasses, and I'm just not there, but I respect it, and I know it's cute. So it kind of sounds like I'm saying not, but I don't know. Western, it's a not, but Greg talked in his video about erotica Westerns, and maybe it will be a hot someday. Who knows? Maybe I haven't read the right ones. Maybe I haven't really read any. So maybe I just have to give the genre a chance. Who knows? X-rated erotica. It's obviously hot. I'm reading one right now, actually. Yeah. Nothing else to say there. It's self-explanatory. Why young adult? It's a not. It's a hot for the nostalgia. It's like, oh, I remember when I thought you were cute. We're not there anymore. That would be weird. So it's a no now. Zeitgeist. A book that brings an era or a time to life. This is an absolute hot. I love world building. I think world building exists in fantasy. I think that world building is highly overlooked in literary and other genre fiction. I love feeling, seeing, interacting, seeing a place in time and feeling transported to that, if it's fictitious or if it was real. But that is the whole tag. I had a lot of fun doing this. I would like to tag Kristen at Enter the Book and Aaron at Aaron Read a Book. If you guys are interested in doing it, feel free. I thought it was a lot of fun. I'd love to see your answers. And for anyone else who would like to do the tag and who's watching this video, consider yourself tagged. Even if you are not a booktuber, I'd love to see some of your answers in the comments below. I think this is a really fun way to understand someone's kind of reading taste and get a snapshot of it. So that is all I got for this video. So until next time, happy reading.